coffee does not dehydrate you. That is one of the most thoroughly debunked myths by science that you learned, and it's time to unlearn it. Not only does it not dehydrate you, coffee is almost entirely water. It's just hot brown water. You're drinking a lot of water, a cup of water. It is hydrating you. That's what water does. No evidence of dehydration with moderate daily coffee intake. Black tea is not significantly different from drinking water in the maintenance of normal hydration. This study shows it's exactly the same amount of hydrating to drink soda, hot tea, iced tea, coffee, lager, orange juice, sparkling water, sports drinks, and still water. And this is from 2014. It's been known that it doesn't dehydrate you at all, and people are still saying it. I had a nurse say it to me last week. But does it feel like you kind of have to pee more after you drink coffee? Yeah, because you just drank a lot of water, and you probably weren't thirsty. You normally only drink water when you're thirsty, but coffee you drink for many other reasons, most especially because it's delicious. So if you're already full tongue to taint of liquids, and then you drop 16 ounces of water on top of that, yeah, you're going to be bursting with fluids. A bonus fact that I think really drives the point home is that a lot of NBA players drink coffee before games. It was especially popular with the Blazers because they travel more than other teams, and NBA players travel more than other athletes, so you're just in a lot of time zones, you're tired all the time, so they would bring like very fancy hipster grade coffee setups in road cases whenever they would travel, and they would just sit around drinking hot coffee before they did wind sprints for an hour on television. Point is, drink up, kids, it's good for you. A couple weeks ago I mentioned that studies show melatonin doesn't actually help you fall asleep much faster, and people didn't know that, and they seemed a little bit upset. And so in the similar vein of telling you stuff that you might not have known and is going to annoy you a little bit, here's a bunch of other stuff that also doesn't seem to do anything. Vitamin C. It doesn't boost your immune system or prevent you from getting sick. It does stop you from getting scurvy, and it does help in cases of extreme exertion and extreme cold, but unless you're a pirate ski racer, you're just making expensive pee. The closed door button on elevators. The Americans with Disability Act requires elevator doors to stay open long enough for someone with a physical disability to get through them, so if your elevator was manufactured after 1990, the button almost certainly doesn't do anything, but they're still fun to push. Dieting. It's just not what our bodies evolved to do. A big meta-analysis of dieting studies showed that 50% of weight is regained within 2 years and 80% within 5 years. Diets are great if you want to be miserable for 6 months, then happy with 6 months while you buy new clothes, and then miserable for another couple of years as you slowly put those old clothes back on. Any financial advice that isn't buy index funds. Basically, nothing legal outperforms the market. Professionals who pick stocks for you charge 10 times the fees and still do worse. And if you're thinking about picking your own stocks, only 1% of people who individually trade stocks show any profit at all over 5 years. Even though it seems like real estate is always going nuts, it's still a worse investment than index funds over time. And even if you inherited a bunch of money from your rich dad, you would have made more money just putting it in index funds than running a large company with your name on it. So take all the money you saved by not buying supplements and dieting books and use the energy you were going to use to press the closed door button and put all of that into index funds. Some seasonal unlearning. Every holiday origin story you learn as a child is a lie. I think most people know at this point that the Peanuts version of the Thanksgiving story is complete nonsense. Like, by the time the Mayflower arrived, members of the Wampanoag tribe already spoke English, so it wasn't like, ooh, who are these people? Would they like our corn? They were entering a tenuous military alliance because they were in the middle of a long war with the Narragansetts. Harvest festivals have been around forever, and Thanksgiving festivals have been around forever, usually to tell God you appreciate his help in doing some atrocity you've just finished. The idea of this really important friendship dinner was propagated in the 1700s because the people of New England wanted to increase tourism, and that's basically how all holidays work. They're mashups of old traditions and propaganda. Christmas comes from solstice, which was a celebration of Sol in the cult of the sun god, and Easter was a combination of a pagan fertility festival and Passover. Early Christians wanted their big holidays to work for new converts, so they mapped them over existing holidays, similar to how Android has an importer for iPhone contacts. You want to make the switch seamless for people. But my medium spicy take is this actually takes a lot of pressure off you. You can celebrate any holiday any way you want because taking the holiday and changing it to fit your needs is truly traditional. Put the Christ back in Christmas or put back in Sol, the unconquered sun god. Whatever you want. So fight the darkest day of winter by bringing trees inside and putting lights on them, or celebrate a bountiful harvest by eating a little too much of it. The important thing is that all of us gather together, take days off work, and spit in the face of a harsh earth. Some quick unlearning. Alpha male wolves aren't aggressive and dominant. They don't rule the pack. They are just normal dads. Every once in a while I get comments on here from people who have alpha in their usernames, and that tells me two things about you. Number one, if I spend any time around you, you're going to recite some podcast that you kind of remember. And two, you don't know anything about wolves. The idea that male wolves are in a constant struggle for dominance within the pack and the alpha is the one that rises to the top because he's the most manly wolf is based on debunked research research that only watched wolves when they were in captivity. And understandably, when you throw a bunch of adult wolves into the same cage, they're going to behave differently than they are in the wild. It's like if an alien wrote a thesis on the behavior of humans, but the only thing they studied was episodes of Jersey Shore. In the wild, packs of wolves aren't just a bunch of adults fighting for dominance, they are a family unit. There's an alpha male and female, and those are just the breeding pair, and the other wolves aren't beta cucks, they're literally children. And the boys aren't fighting to impress the girls because the girls are their sisters. A true alpha male doesn't learn debate language for comment sections. They leave home at the age of 2, pass messages to each other by peeing on trees, mate for life, go to great lengths to protect and feed their families, only mate in the months of February and March, and at least occasionally dress in grandma's clothing. If you have alpha in your username, my only conclusion is that you want to be my daddy wolf and wear my grandma's clothes. Here's something you should unlearn. The videos you see on apps like this, the stuff the algorithm shows you, is much more in your control than people think. People act like they're just passengers in the apps. They're like, oh, it makes me too angry, it makes me too sad, I'm seeing too much political stuff today. There are some known biases in the algorithms, but the general vibe of what you see is entirely up to you. All of these apps pick videos for you based on signals you've given them, like likes and dislikes and how long you watch videos. So at some point, you taught this app that you like mid guys who talk fast. And sure, you could be completely genuine with the signals you give the app. You could also do all of those things on purpose to tell the app what you want. For example, I like bunny rabbits, and I decided the other day I would like to see a feed that was just bunny rabbits. So I created a brand new account with a baby fresh algorithm to see how long it would take to make a feed that was just rabbits. So I created my bunny pervert account, and then I lingered on and liked any video of an animal, and the closer that animal seemed to me to be to a rabbit, the longer it got. So dog, yes, cat, more, donkey, less, dog and duck together, more. And stuff that wasn't animals at all, I didn't just swipe away, I swiped away as quickly and as aggressively as I possibly could. It took me about 7 minutes to get my first rabbit video, which I watched through twice, liked, and saved. Went back to swiping, found another rabbit video, did the same thing again. Within 15 minutes, my feed is almost exclusively rabbits. I still like other things besides rabbits, so that's not the only account that I open, but if I'm feeling stressed, I'm just gonna look at the bunnies. It is my emotional support animal algorithm. The dumbest take on the internet, and it goes viral every couple of months, is that libraries would be profitable if they simply sold coffee. I know it's engagement bait, but consider me baited, because this is wrong on so many levels, it's actually kind of impressive. Number one, and most obvious, is that it's not supposed to be profitable. It's a service. That's how they work. Schools could be profitable if they were also sweatshops, and the police would be profitable if they also mowed people's lawns, although we don't want them to do that because statistically it is a much more dangerous job. Number two, and an also important point here, is that no, they wouldn't. You know who does have coffee shops? Bookstores, and they also sell the books for money instead of loaning them out for free, so a million times better than your business model. And you know what you never hear? Running a bookstore sure is an easy way to make a ton of money. And the third point, which I think might be the most important one, is they do sell coffee. Lots of libraries have coffee shops, so you could just ask one of them, did this turn your library into a cash machine? So I asked one of them. A friend of mine runs a library branch that just finished negotiating with a coffee shop tenant to come in and rent part of the library. And do you know how much they're getting from that coffee shop? A couple $100 a month. And if you think the difference between this library being profitable and losing money is a couple $100 a month, I recommend you check out Dewey Decimal 513.2 Basic Arithmetic. But also don't do that because the Dewey Decimal System is oddly homophobic, which is not to say that libraries shouldn't sell coffee. They should, because coffee is great and I would like to buy coffee. And also, coffee shops help turn libraries into that crucial third place that we are lacking in society. So libraries should sell coffee, elementary schools should sell coffee, and the police should sell coffee, but they should not deliver it because delivery driver is a much more dangerous job.